Victory Lane celebration. Mingle down there. Also, we invite you down to mingle in the pit field with them after the race. It's a 20-lap feature main event for the Winged Super Modifieds. Let's practice one more Raven Wave here, folks. On the lead cars, when they're in front of you, come up to your standing positions and maintain it. Let's get ready to give these guys a super Raven Wave, one that's got some audio involved with it too. I think we're going to go green real early here, folks, so let's give them a Raven Wave for real this time with plenty of cheering. See if we can't kick these guys off for 20 quick dashing laps here and wrap it up on a Friday night at Raven Raceway. Let's do the Raven Wave when the lead cars are in front of you. Stand up. Let's go. Up, 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 up. Dave Hatton from that pole position, powering his way into the lead right from the top and hanging on to it through turn 1. But he gives it up quickly down the back chute and into turn 3 as competition comes powering by him. And who would it be but Donnie Sink, bolting into the lead on the first lap of this Winged Super Modified main event. Sink setting the early pace now, having come from the 3rd position. Lap 2 of 20. Sink's got it cooking again.
Dave Hatton right on his heels, though.
Got some nice passing going on back in the pack, and you're right. Hatton is running a real close second right now to Donnie Sink. They're running 1-2. Then we've got a separation. Back to positions 3, 4, and 5. Now they all begin to close it up. The top 5 do on the leader, who is still Donnie Sink in the 5T machine, still leading Hatton by a narrow margin into and out of turn 1. A 3-car chase right now for the top spot in this one. The man they got to catch is Tucson and Donnie Sink, running real well right now in the 5T machine. A little up on Dave Hatton, Scott Kazar, and Billy Parker. Those are your top 4 runners. Don Sink, look out in that number 2 position down there. A little low for Hatton inside on turn 1. Some rough riding, but he kept it out of trouble, only to lose it then and fall to 3rd place. Tumbles to 3rd place in that one lap, making a fine move, an attempted move inside on turn 1 that went awry, and that's cost him some space. Scott Kazar has closed it up and is continuing to close it up on the lead car. Kazar in that orange machine running 2nd right now to Tucson and Donnie Sink. Kazar, another of our Phoenician runners who's come south to do it in the dirt here at Raven Raceway on a Friday night. The front end of a Hank Arnold doubleheader back-to-back memorial.
7 laps down, going on 8 right now.
This one's moving right along, eh?
Sure is.
7 down out of 20, 13 remain. Rapidly cutting down to but 12 to go in this one tonight.
Oh, look at the battle for the lead here between Sink and Kazar.
Dandy, and Sink hanging on to the lead over Kazar on the outside. Kazar trying to nip away on the inside, unable to get it done in 1 and 2, and now he'll try to make it up on the backstretch as one of the earlier droppees has now re-entered the fray. Just coming in, Inference Road back there on turn 2. That car right there is back out to play, number 24, but he's well back in the running on this one. That's Troy Brown in the 24 machine, just getting it back into action. The action at the top is some dandy stuff. The lead changing back and forth. They're keeping it clean, though, meaning it's lean and mean and doing nothing but running under the green. J.D. Vance in that number 33 machine trying to close up on the leaders. unable right now, at least, to get that job done.
We're a little over
Oh,
halfway.
my goodness, bumping and flipping and spraying some metal parts on the track down here, but keeping it out of any more serious grief and trouble. Nice driving show being put on for you there. But still at the top, dashing dandy Donnie Sink in that 5T machine, trying to hold off Scott Kazar, but Kazar has battled into the lead. Sink trying to close it up, approaching turn 3. He does have traffic in front of him. In turn 4, maybe he can take advantage of it. He's not going to be able to here. Kazar still has the lead into and out of turn 1. Donnie Sink flying his wings and trying to close it up. We've got a problem in turn 3, and George Camp has reached for the yellow. Under the cautionary yellow once again. Donnie Sink has given up the lead. Temporarily, he would like to believe, to Scott Kazar. Scotty, a 38-year-old race driver with us tonight. Wife Anita enjoying, no doubt, his having vaulted into the lead. 13 laps are in the book, 7 to go. And Kazar is now the man they're all looking up to. Donnie Sink, who had the lead before Kazar, is now running in second place. I show Hatton in third right now. Billy Parker Jr. is also up there in the fray, as is Ron Gary and J.D. Vance. After that, it's anybody's guess right now. J.D. Vance, the one in trouble there in turn 3, ironically enough, with the double 3 car. 33 with the problem in 3. But he's restarted now. And I think we're going to try to get a fast green up here if these guys can hold it in some semblance of order. And it looks like they've got it down pat. Kazar on the lead. Donnie Sink behind him. Dave Hatton currently third. Don Riegels currently fourth. John VC in fifth place. And here they go again. 7 laps to go. We've got green once again. And Kazar puts the pace out for Donnie Sink and says, here, can you climb up on this? And he's given it his very best shot. Dave Hatton is also hanging in there. Those 3 separating themselves from the rest of the pack. And at the head of the pack, too, Kazar, Sink, Hatton. That's how they're running. Kazar, Sink, and Hatton going 1, 2, 3. And then it opens up with a bit of an opening before the rest of the field. Here come your leaders out of turn 4 now. And down the home stretch for Scotty Kazar, Donnie Sink, and Dave Hatton. Still commanding it. 1, 2, 3 at the top. There goes 92, putting a nice little pass. Billy Hicks in that 92 machine and climbing into the top of the cream of the crop here. Kazar now adding to his lead on Donnie Sink, or so it would appear. And they're running pretty equidistant between positions 1, 2, and 3. And we go back to the yellow again with a squirrel between 1 and 2. Speaking of squirrels, Kazar getting a little squirrely down there in turn 4 in the slowdown process because of a stopped machine up between turns 1 and 2. But they all got the early eye on it. "15 laps are now in the book on this one, ladies and gentlemen. 15 down, 5 to go. They'll bunch up once again, and this could be, if it stays under the green, a wild, rambling scramble to get to the top, which is currently held by that man right there, number 3, Scott Kazar. Donnie Sink running second. Dave Hatton in third place in that 4P machine. I've got Don Regals up there in the number 37 machine, unofficially currently running fourth, with Billy Hicks right behind him, and the flying fireman Ron Gary in the number 14 machine, along about sixth place. Jack's verifying all this now. We drop Ron Gary out of that slot, replace him with John Vesey in car number 54. So it's Vesey, Hicks, Regals, Hatton, Sink, and Kazar, your top six machines in that order. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the rest of your parade. With 96 there, Ronnie Widwell. And the fine folks from that pub behind him. They'll watch him dash. Looks like a lot of distance, and it is, especially with but 5 laps remaining when we do resume. But if anyone can kick it up and move it up, Whitwell's among the group who are can-do. Can-do, sir.
What can you do? I can do a lot of things. Especially when the racing's over tonight.
Well, we get a good bump push back there. Let's see if it flies.
So let's see. How do we pronounce Scott's last name? Kaziar?
No. Oh. Got it down now. Kazar.
Kazar. Okay. I'll have to remember that if you're not here tomorrow night.
I even phoneticized it here. Just drop below his name, which is real tricky. And you see the old phoneticizing there. Kazar. The king. And right now, pretty convincing, eh?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm sure Don Sink is happy that the yellow has come out because they bunch him up right now, and he's going to try to make the move on Scott Kazar in that car number 3. But Scott looking mighty fine out there tonight. Got a lot of horses. Off the number 4 corner they come. George gives him the green. We're back into racing once again.
And Kazar continues to set the mean pace. Donnie Sink not only failing to close it up right now, but finding himself suddenly with a lot of company. And company that's too doggone close, climbing up on his left rear. It presents no problem for Donnie Sink, but for the climber, yeah, he's got him a problem. And he's left sitting on the lip of the infield down there just on the early ridges of turn number 4.
And that's exactly what he did, was climb his wheel. Looked like something slowed Donnie up. And he just come running right behind him and up on the wheel and almost flipped that thing.
Just enough bouncing down there in that low area on the track to wind up sitting up on the ridge of the infield.
Look how dry that number 4 corner is right now. That was nothing but a mud puddle out there a little bit earlier.
I would imagine probably the only thing Donnie Sink felt was just a couple of bumps and probably a couple of scraping sounds as the tires tangled. Didn't create much of a problem for him, but for the driver who came to do the climbing, he left himself in a bit of a problem down there.
45 belongs to the front of 71.
So we'll unravel them one more time. It's still a situation of 15 in the book and 5 to go here.
13's lap, right? Yes.
We've got the green in hand, and we've got the green waving. Now let's see if we go racing all the way at Raven here and put a winner in victory lane to talk with Dave Maness.
Here comes Billy Hicks on the tail of Donnie Sink as they come down the back chute, and Billy was starting to push him around that number 2 corner. As Scott Kazar leads him on around.
Robbie Flock will be talking with Dave Maness in Victory Lane as the winner of your USAC Midget Main, and a big scramble and tangle up down here involving a whole host and variety of racing machines. We'll all get the glasses on them from up here and see who we can pick out of that mess. I see car 71, Jack. 71 is in there. 37 is another in the fray. It looks like J.D. Vance's 33 machine is involved. The 4T machine is involved, not right in the thick of it, but up about 30 feet above the main conglomeration down there. One of them completely inverted, sitting wheels up with the front of the car on the infield. Well, our officials get that one separated, get the car down a little closer to the ground, where they can best get their services in there to aid the drivers involved in this one. So they get number 14 righted once again. That's the flying fireman, Ron Gary. Coming at the 15 laps down, 5 to go point.
And looks like he's out of the vehicle. How is he, fellas? Is he okay out there? Give us a wave or something. Okay, he's okay, Ron Gary. The flying fireman, he was really flying high tonight. And he's out of that car and walking around.
Ford T getting a push by hand right now. Did not look to be too involved in the thick of it. Tommy Signs. But it appears as though he did get spun around. Looked like the machine had gotten shut down. Good to see Ron Gary climb out of that number 14 machine. He sat there inverted for a good little piece of time. I can't really get a good description on the car behind him, Jack.
I can't either.
I doubt you can from that perspective. So once again, we'll rely on
that's 96.
You officials on the scene to get word up here as soon as possible so we can relay it to the interested parties in the spectator row here this evening.
That's car number 96, Tom. The driver's still sitting in it, and I think they're getting him out right now. That's the largest multiple accident I believe we've had this year.
A goodly number involved in this one.
It makes it look worse sometimes with all those wings on those vehicles. You ever notice that? Couldn't tell how many were rolling over out there or not when all the dust was being kicked up.
Widwell's machine is the 96 that you've mentioned. Tommy Signs involved. To what extent we're uncertain. Don Regal's.
Well, look at 14's car.
He's gotten up to running at the top.
His wing is gone.
That's the flying fireman, Ron Gary. As I say, good to see him. Such a gregarious and outgoing fellow, so full of it and so turned on by this racing. A rough rookie year in one fell swoop for the flying fireman here tonight, but good to see him walk away or stagger away under his own power.
Well, that's Ronnie Widwell in the car number 96, and evidently he's okay. He's still sitting in the car and have some officials trying to get him started once again. So I'm sure if he was injured, the ambulance fellows would be around him right now. He's ready to race again.
Number 37 there, Don Regals, had pulled to within the top 4 with but 5 laps remaining. I still see him huddled around Signs' machine. Now Regals gets the hook. Gary's car has already been hooked. They're preparing to give a push start to J.D. Vance's number 33 machine. It'll be green, white, and checkered when we come back, so you know. Then the survivor, the winner of this, along with Robbie Flock, the winner of your USAC Midget Main event tonight. Those two winners will join Dave Maness in Victory Lane, which is front and center. As soon as they wrap it up, we invite you to go down and join them on the track. If not there, then venture with us into the pit field. Meet these guys and gals, get to know them, and who knows, maybe we can come up with some sponsor, owner, driver marriages that haven't been consummated here in racing heaven just yet. We'll work on it.
Yeah, just 1 minute. 35, 437. Yeah, you want it? I'll bring it down.
Pull the 37 car in the 14 car.
Yeah, he's left 13.
35, 437.
Ronnie Widwell in 96 looks operable. Let's hope. J.D. Vance, it seems, has successfully restarted. Still working on Signs. So we're still 15 down and 5 to go. Plus now. It'll basically be 3 laps left when we get back.
14's gone, right?
Yeah, 37, 14.
37's gone?
Yeah. It'll be a green flag and a white one and then a checker.
Green flag followed by a white one followed by the checkered.
Followed by a Budweiser.
At least a Budweiser. It is now Saturday.
Saturday?
We have done it once again.
We've got to be back here today.
We have managed to do it once again. Which of us was the fool who at the start of it tonight said, kind of got a feeling 10:30, 11 o'clock and we'll be out of here?
I wonder who said that.
I wish I hadn't.
We talked about time again up in the press box.
That's what we
We're not
can't
supposed to do that.
And somebody probably brought peanuts up, too.
And Robin bought some peanuts up. Oh, no, bag of the Jolly Rancher candies. Okay. Some instant tooth decay. Now, good candies, Jolly Rancher candies. Fine sponsors of the USAC Midget
Okay, who have we
organization.
lost here? Ron Gary for sure.
We've lost a bunch of them here. We lost Ron Gary and Don Regals.
Regals is gone and had just battled his way up to 4th place. Troy Brown lost in that fray.
Yep.
In the number 24 machine, there goes Signs. Tommy's back inoperable. It'll be a 3-lap dash for cash now.
And an awfully dry track out there. They're going to be kicking up the dust on his last 3 laps.
George Camp may have to put his gas mask on. Filter some of the raven dust away.
Yeah, of course, one out, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Scott Kazar brings them around on one more yellow flag lap. Followed by Donnie Sink, Dave Hatton, Billy Hicks, John Vesey, Tom Dingus, and the rest of the field.
And this is where the strategy changes, because these gentlemen who remain in the field in single file fashion now know when they see the green, they're only going to see 2 more flags after that. The next one will be white, the last one will be checkered, It'll be a 3-lap dash for the cash. Right now, Scott Kazar is on top. Can he hang on to it?
So they better move it or lose
Donnie
it.
Sink nip into it. We've got green, and here we go. The dash is on. This one ought to be a quick wrapper. So keep your eye on Kazar, followed by Sink, then Hicks, then Hatton. Will there be any seesawing change here at the end as we've got one breaking down between 1 and 2? Might not affect us with 2 to go. Scott Kazar in the lead. Sure enough, we have to bring out the yellow because of that condition up there in turn 2. So we didn't get very far.
You know what the problem was, don't you?
Hard to tell.
We mentioned time again here up in the press box. We got to just keep it quiet, and we'll get this race over with, right?
I don't really believe in those silly superstitions.
You don't believe in that?
No,
Linda Manus seems to believe in it. Do you believe in that, Linda? Do you believe in the fairy godmother?
Yeah, Mother.
Do you believe in the fairy godfather? Oh, okay. Old St. Nick, huh?
So kicking up a dust on a Friday night. We'll restart them. Tire laid flat on, what is it, 54? The VC machine. A little late in the day for that condition.
Robin Conwell wanted to know how you explain the flat tire. Well, oh, she did. Okay, Linda did. It's only flat on one side, right? Now, Linda Manus, I want you to notice the wheels, the rear wheels on Donnie Sink's car. They're going forward.
What?
But they're grooved backwards. Here we go, green and white.
Oh, I like this double action. Scott Kazar bolts for turn 1 in the lead. Donnie Sink trying to go low and nip away. Unable to get the job done in the early on of what remains in this one, and that ain't much. We're down to 11th hour for sure now. Scott Kazar seemingly in a commanding situation in the lead in that 3 car. Donnie Sink trying to close it up. Billy Hicks doing likewise. That's how they stack up right now, your top 3. J.D. Vance has battled his way up to 4th spot, but is it going to be in time to do him any good? The checkered flag is out and falls for your winner, Scott Kazar, in that number 3 machine. Donnie Sink and Billy Hicks running behind him. J.D. Vance unofficially in 4th place. So that's how they stack at the top. James Smythe in the number 13 machine had been lapped right there at the end of that one. Stay with us. Stay with us. Dave Manus is now down front and center.
Careful, hon. Get the other one, Kristen.
Yeah, very careful.
Uh-oh.
They told me that was number 91.
Okay, kid.
We're going to do the super modified first.
Okay, here we go. Scott Kazar, winner of the super modified Memorial race for Hancock Royal first night. So we got 2 more just like this modified. Anyway, Scott Kazar, Phoenix, Arizona. Congratulations. Being different winner of super today. Who's the sponsor of that car? Okay, thank you very much. We put a wreath over Scott Day here.
Well, I run about 10. I run 6 for Romania, this guy that I stayed for. And I drove some other people's cars. I drove the last 5 races, I drove 5 different cars and won 3 out of 5.
You ought to be. I think this is, we're privileged to carry today. I drove this car before. I believe it's the first time I've been circle. This guy has struggled hard for many years to put a car in winner's circle. And I know what it feels like to have that ride. That's a nice tribute to Terry, too. And, Lori, you want to make a presentation here? Liz got another memorial lane. You put around like a neck here. And Howard, hydraulic, we want to thank him for getting Robbie's spot here. And Robbie's coming from California to be here tomorrow night. So, that's President Road Front Gate. Come on down. We want to talk to these people. I'm going to the good. Thank you very much. We'll see you here tomorrow night.
Hey! I don't think she ever worked so hard on